Greetings, warriors. This is Paragon's early access patch notes hero balance changes from the last time we touched the game, which was about 2 to 3 weeks ago. I'm in love with this game, so I'm hoping for the best. I'm going to be going over the patch notes. I'm going to be, just telling you what I think about every change. So let's see it. Speed gate, eat skill line formation, time adjusted from 1 second now to 0.3. This is a great change because I thought the speed gate was more of a utility ability and was taking too long to drop on the floor. It felt like it was so much sacrifice just to throw on the floor. So 0.3 seconds is that's a giant buff, but definitely quality of life. Really important. Obsessive bomb Q skill range adjusted, 17 meters now 16. So they shortened the meter by 1 meter the range of your Q bomb skill. I find it fine. I think that's a okay change. She was one of the strongest mages, if not the strongest mage in the game at that point. So, excuse me. The damage got changed from 120 base value. Level 1 is still the same, but it drops off as you keep leveling it compared to before. 20, it goes 10, 20, 30, 40. So literally by the end, it is a big change, 40 damage. This is magical power coefficient. I'm assuming is the scaling aspect. So from 0.7 to 0.65. So for example, if you had one magical power, it wouldn't give you an extra 0.7 on that ability. It would give you 0.65 of that one magical power. I'm assuming is how the math is, but I'll be learning as they give me more info. Distortion Gideon, right? So this is, I think, his grab. Before was 16 meters, now 17 meters. Really like this change. Is one of the changes I think it needed. He needed more range if he was going to be a mage. That's casting from far. The meteor got the same treatment, 1 extra meter on both abilities. I really enjoy that. Very well. Very well done. Devourer, R skill pool value adjusted and buff added. So the Devourer's pull strength has been increased, so it's become more of a CC. More CC value. Buff added grants the hero a one-time skill immunity upon casting. So I'm assuming one-time skill immunity is like a 1 second immunity upon casting is what I'm assuming they're saying here. So this is pretty big buffs for Gideon all around. He's definitely going to be stronger. They didn't increase the scaling on his damage. I think the damage on his ult was very weak. But I think the way they went about it is fine. Giving the ability more quality of life effects is definitely a good way to go about it. Auspicious Spirit Q, so his shield on Feng Mao got nerfed very hard. So 16 at level 1 the same, but it drops off really hard. Used to be by 2 seconds scaling, now it's 1 second scaling. 8 seconds to 12 seconds is big. That hits Feng pretty damn hard, but I think it's the right way to hit Feng. I don't think you should have hit Feng in any other way other than this. His shield was too strong, it also blocks a spell. So it's like kind of free in my opinion, so I really like this change for Feng. The shield values also were adjusted. Like I said, early game still the same, but drops off very hard from 420 to 300. 120 health on the shield is a lot. So, but still the right way to go about Feng. I thought he was very, very strong. Phase, one of the only characters. It is going to be available in 30 minutes, guys. 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time is playable. So, Phase, one of the only characters I really didn't like about the game, in my opinion. So let's see what they do to her. Before, I think the mark was 50, now it's 25. So a big nerf, halving the time that I think you were synchronized with one person. Flash burst Q skill. So the blind. Sorry I'm burping so much. I tried eating too fast. So the flash burst, the Q skill, the blind was 2 seconds. Now it's 1. I really love that. I despise the blind. 1 second is okay. It is like a good change. I don't really like the character at all, but any nerfs to this character is fine to me. Synchronizer range adjusted, 2 meters less. I like that. Synchronizer disconnect range adjusted before you. Alright, so they just nerfed this character into the ground, and I agree. This character was not. It's not good for this character to be strong. There's no intense mechanics. Murdoch, one of the strongest characters in the game. Target check, Q skill, physical power, coefficient adjusted. Before 0.1, now 0.06. So 0.04 lost on scaling on his Q. So I agree with that. I don't think his Q should be very strong. Burn to Ashes. So what is this? Burn to Ashes. Is this the ult? The Q skill damages. Oh, this is Twin Blast. I'm so sorry. No mercy on Twin Blast. Physical power coefficient adjusted 0.3, 0.25, 0.325, 0.275. So just nerfing it down a bit on the right mouse. That's the auto cancel, right? Yeah. I think that's fine changes. It is one of my favorite abilities from Twin Blast. I don't really think he had too many. Burn to Ashes, Q skill, damage values adjusted before, so they just hit it with 5 power all across. I use it for the slow, so I like that. You ready to get wrecked when it launches? Were you in the top 15 rank last time? No, you weren't. So I'm not gonna get not gonna get wrecked, but I'm definitely excited to play against you when it launches, just so I can get free MMR. No, I'm just kidding, my bro. What's up, John? How you doing, man? Nice to see you, bro. Welcome to the stream. Burn to Ashes, Q skill, coefficient adjusted. I'm kidding, Tactile. I'm just memeing. But you're definitely not better than me. Not memeing about that part. So Burn to Ashes, okay. Base movement speed adjusted. Before 650, now it's 628. I like that. Good change. Shinibi, I barely played her. Summon Phantom, Q skill, mana. Yeah, so mana I saw was a problem on this character. Before 2%, now 5%. The mana you get, that 2% was too low. I haven't played Shinibi like barely, so I don't really know how much it's gonna help. But I mean, more mana is definitely important for laning phase. Phantom Dance, E skill, magical power. Top 15 ranked. I played the actual game. Oh, you played Paragon. That's really cute. Because those MOBA players were really interesting. It's almost like they were the worst of all MOBAs. But you might have a little bit of help since this is your type of MOBA. But it's not Paragon anymore. It's the Overprime, so. No, Captain, we were roasting back and forth. It's okay. It's okay. He came in with the roast. I went back. He came back. It's all fun. It's all fun. I'm going to just keep going to Patchnotes. I was having a good time. All right, Hauser. So they lowered. I already read through these. What's up, Cap? By the way, nice to see you. I went over this, or I read over everything. I didn't like this change because I do feel like, I mean, Hauser, the reason you need to do this is because the other ones are lowered. The range is too short, so Hauser just outranges you, which is kind of weird for a mage matchup just to get outranged. This character outranges everybody, so that's why it's why I understand they did this. But I just wish they brought everyone to 20 meters. So mages felt more impactful from far, right? Because I feel like hunters, once they get on top of you, you just drop all your spells and run. But interesting nonetheless. I like it. It's okay. Super powerful Q missile, value adjusted. I mean, the early is still strong, but falls off pretty hard. 40 damage late. Super, okay, and now the scaling on it dropped by 0.05. Not too much, but small tweaks all around, small nerfs all around for Hauser. He did feel like the strongest mage, if not, it was between him and Gadget. Belica barely played her, but suppresses magical power coefficient adjusted, so got a tiny buff on the scaling. Suppress, right. I don't like how they say the right mouse button skill. It's kind of weird to remember which skill, because if you change your keybind, then I don't know what this is, you know. But either way, it went up by 2 meters. So Belica buffs all around. Commander I. Oh, wow. Range adjusted. Wow, they nerfed this ability really hard. 3.5 meters. Think you were playing Overprime, dudes? It's my pleasure, man. Commander I. Skill health adjusted. 6. Now 4. Okay, wait. We have adjusted health so that heroes with low attack speeds and melee heroes can destroy it even in early game. Oh, okay. I really like this change. Yeah, it felt like it was impossible to kill her little drone that she dropped, but now it seems more like an outplay, you know, or a play. Before it wasn't a play. 6 autos, I mean, might as well just walk away from it. 4 seems killable now with 2 people. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing casuals till I hit level 10. So Xena, their best character, no doubt, 100% best design there is in the game for sure. I am so happy with Prime dropping Xena. I really loved it. I loved every aspect of her. I loved everything. I honestly would not mind if they just deleted some of their characters, like Shinibi. I mean, Shinibi is fine. You can keep her. But like, what is this character? FaZe? I would not mind if they deleted her and make a different version of her. You can keep her art model or whatever, but her abilities are just whack. I mean, if they have the potential like this, why not just put it into other characters? But we'll continue. So now her leap through time before did 90 to 250, now does 60 to 200. Those are very significant nerfs on her base damage. Leap through time, right? It got they lowered it in 0.1 scaling, so big hits on Xena all around. Quang, Crescent Moon, right muscle, New Moon, bonus damage, magical power, coefficient for basic attack after. So they nerfed like his poly or his hydras. If you played other games before, his enhanced auto got nerfed. I don't mind that. I thought Quang was very strong, but I think he had some sick outplay potential. But I don't mind a small nerf like this. I think it's more of adjustment. Mural, I haven't played her much, but Glory of right muscle, shield and movement speed duration adjusted before 2 seconds, 2.25, 3. Now it is 3 seconds to 4. Wow, that is big buff on that support role for Mural. Faith roll, R skill, shield adjusted, shield duration adjusted 4 seconds, so more shields, longer, and more movement speed, more time. No EW, this is a Paragon remake, but better, much better, 100 times better. Decker, Plasma Dome, E-Skill, duration adjusted from 2 to 4 seconds. I agree with this. This is, so before, since it was only 2 seconds, you can get very little out of the attack / movement speed reduction because it would blow up in 2 seconds. So you're really just using it for damage. So it felt Decker like was more of a mage. But now with adding double the duration of this spell, and you can use it more for, support, type plays. Aurora, Glacial Barrier E-Skill, damage value adjusted, so the base damage is all around better and at all levels. Glacier, the scaling is better by 0.5. Glacier Explosion, her R skill, damage value adjusted from 150 to 390. This is her ult to 165 to 435, so all around much better. Glacier Explosion, R skill, the coefficient went up by 0.1. Glacier Explosion R skill bonus damage adjusted per hero from 70 to 100 to 80 to 110, scaling better. So when it explodes, it scales better as well on the base values. Glacial. So I'm gonna go over everything as fast as I can, and then I'm gonna answer all your questions on what changes you guys have questions about or want to discuss. Glacier Explosion bonus damage is now to 0.4 for coefficient adjusted for the hero on the magical power. So something they have to do extra. R skill bonus damage on Tion, so on the minions, 20 to 35 to 40 to 55. It's quality of life. Glacier Explosion, R skill bonus damage, magical power coefficient adjusted. Okay, so just the scaling. This is really weird when I read this. Aurora denominator skill difference. We just overall. This was an interesting one. I didn't really understand it, but so adjusted Tion, right? So the scaling on this ability on minions. So not why I don't understand why it just wouldn't be the scaling, right? Because if it's just scaling, then wouldn't it just change? It would just scale the ability, so it would, just go on to the minions. I was kind of confused about this, but it's very small changes either way. The Fae, one of the weaker mages in my opinion. Forest Will, right mouse button skill is now 3 meters longer. Very important change, very necessary. Really like this. Forest Will, same ability. The range adjusted. Wait. Forest Will, range value adjusted. Range adjusted. Okay, so in general, just getting more range. Really, really like this. Net Marble. Forest Warning, E-skill. Change from single target to AoE target. I mean, you guys can do the math on that. I mean, infinitely more DPS. More range, which means more damage from far. More damage in general. And then Forest Wind Q skill, movement speed increased by 10%. This is more quality of life, but like they explained it here, just to get out, just to survive, better survivability. Countess Blood Ripple E skill, so it was not scaling down, and now it is, and it's off the bat better. So this is a giant buff for Countess. Serath, I had barely played her, but I will be probably trying all these characters today and their buffs and their changes. Execution by Illusion, Q skill, invincible, time adjusted. So Now, before it was 0.25. So, for example, you hit 3 people, you have immunity for almost 1 second. Now, if you hit 2 people, you already have more value than hitting 3 people. So, I like this change. More outplay potential. Execution by illusion. Q skill delay after skill use reduced. We believe that it was difficult to play dynamically due to the long delay after the skill, so it was modified to shorten the delay after using the skill, so players can attack. Okay, animation, that's really good. Yeah, she felt weaker than the rest, 100%. That's why I didn't even touch her, but definitely gonna mess around with these changes. Summon Angel of Balance, art skill, burn duration adjusted from 3 to 4. That's in general a shit ton more damage. Sparrow Rain of Arrows Q skill, value adjusted to 30 to 50% and 35, just small changes. A little bit more slow. Swift Arrow E skill, movement speed increase adjusted 10%, so quality of life changes all around. Swift Arrow E skill, attack speed increased by 20 to 40 to 30 to 50, just better. Like I said, quality of life, really good quality of life. She was definitely the weakest hunter, no doubt. I like these changes. Sevrog Deadly Declaration R skill cooldown adjusted. 100 seconds to 80, now 80 to 60. So just all around huge Sev buff. And I agree with what they said. We believe this skill's cooldown was too long compared to its damage. I agree. Because he's going to build tanks, so it's not going to do a lot of damage. It's all about the repositioning. So being able to reposition people more often is definitely the play with this character. Kalari, I read over all of this so I could give you guys a more smooth transition. So Faded Light Q skill, her invis, before used to be disabled on any attack. So if you press Q and you hit her because you knew she was kind of around there, it would kill the ability. So now it maintains it even when hit unless they are stunned, airborne, pull, knockback. Any sort of CC other than slow takes you out. So big buff for Kalari. I think she needed this. What they're saying here was that when you get hit, when you're invis, it kind of kills your fight. And I do agree with that. So this is a way better way to go about it. And either way, this game has a way to counter invis. So a lot of people were scared with this change, but I disagree for 3 reasons. One, there's characters with invis reveal in their kit. Not only that, wards also reveal invis characters, and CC also reveals. So there's 3 ways to reveal her in her invis. So this is a great change. Great change. Chimera. So Chimera was one of my problems in this game in the way that his orb was his passive, but it was an ability. So it makes it kind of weird on how you can buff this character. So they went the way of the passive. They want him to be more of a frontline character. I still think Chimera is going to be kind of weak and very easy to outplay regardless of these changes. But it is something, you know, something is something. So he's going to regen more throughout the levels. So there's even more changes. So item balance changes, mana regen value changed. So before a mana potion would give you 100 over 20 seconds, which is 5 per second. Now it's going to give you 150 over 20 seconds. Big change, more mana, more fighting, more fun. Vitality potion, before 50 mana recovered over 20 seconds, 75, now it does 75. So all around more mana. The mana amp was the little minion, if I'm not mistaken. Now gives you more mana as well on the side camp of left mids. Tekima, Gemstones of Bravery, Tailwind, Vision, and Fortitude. Mana regen effect added to Decimate Gemstones of Bravery, Tailwind, and Fortitude 3-4. Mana regen added 0.4, 0.5, and 1.5. I like these changes as well. So now your starter items have some mana regen on it. Mana regen values of Decima Gemstone Abundance 1, 2, 3 adjusted 0.4, 1.5. So this one has even more, which I agree with this. This is right. Mana regen value for landing basic attacks adjusted for Destroy Stone, Stonebreaker, Bone Crusher. 3, 4, 5. Okay, mana regen. Okay, to 7, 10, 13. So just quality of life. You want to queue ranked on OP? I have my mid that wants to play a lot, but we can't queue first, Sam, because we have to get to level 10 to queue ranked. So we have to play like I think the math was like 60 games before we can queue. And then also you can't queue qualies with duo. And then so we have to get to level 10, then do our qualies, and then we can finally play. If we were on the same time. I'm down. We're missing 1 person right now, Sam. We have 4 if you wanted to play. Text of Fallen Evros. Sounds good, Sam. I'll message you. I'll add you to the Discord. We have a solo laner, mid, and ADC. I'm jungle, but I can swap with you. If you want a jungle, if you want to support, we can move around and definitely have a good time. Okay, so we're gonna continue. Added a UI that displays the amount of damage that can be dealt to the Prime Spirit of our health bar item when the item is equipped. Okay, so before there was no UI that helps, so I'm assuming, you know, it's hard to say without seeing it because UI is obviously visual, so excited to see how that looks. Zinc's Claw Barrier Reflect value, I agree with this. I thought 20% was too high. 7% is a much better value for reflecting damage. Tanks were much stronger because of this item, and now tanks will be nerfed a bit. Do like this. Saint Chainsaw, I agree, should go up in pen. Tanks felt like they were way too tanky, even with Chainsaw. So this going down, this going up is going to take away from the tank meta, so which I enjoy. Magical defense ignores effect value adjusted. So buff on Obshard and pretty much Titan's Bane. Chainsaw and Blaster now have more. You have more pen options, percent pen options. Physical defense ignore effect value from before 30. So another pen buff. Broken Watch is support item. Health recovery values adjusted from 2 to 370 to 215 to 460. Just a big buff for support. I like this. I like more. This is a usable item that heals. And I love usables because usables is more outplay potential. You know how I feel about outplay potential. What up, Dilly Wiggle? What up, 60? High Priest Constellation Health. So this is another heal. This is another heal item. Lower scaling in the beginning, but scales higher in the late game. Really love this item. Range decrease from 30 to 15, so you got to be closer. You can't just do it from really far. Mutant. Active range decrease from 2 meters to 1.5, but I love this item. But really good item. Really love this item. Merchant Jewelry Box got nerfed. Physical power value adjusted for 460. Now 40. I like this changes. Item was too strong. Excuse me. Critical rate feature change. Before critical rate 20%. Now it's 20% attack speed. So it's an attack speed item, no longer a crit item. Combined item change before. I'm gonna sneeze. Give me a second. Thank you. Before Giant's Dagger plus Plasma Cutter plus Sword of Conviction plus 625 gold equals 3,200 gold. Now Giant's Dagger plus Speed Booster. It was the first item merchant jewelry box. The item's critical rate stat. Skill effects is too well with a Fanatic Desert and a treasure sword to prevent the cookie cutter item builds. I love that. I love that they said this. To prevent cookie cutter item builds. Bro, Smite will never say that about their game. Smite will never say, yeah, because we made these items too OP and all these shitters are winning because of it. We're gonna figure that out, bro. We're not gonna do that. These guys said there's a bunch of shitters winning games because they're left clicking with crit. We're done with that shit. I love that. I love the way they worded this. Love it. Brightstone, max health, mana recovery, value adjusted before 5% of health / mana recovery over 3 seconds. Now it's 2% over 5 seconds. So 15, 10, so they have a giant nerf in general. No? Yeah, that'd be 15%. This is a giant nerf. Sweet Life. It's kind of hard for me to remember what the items look like. I know the item how it looks, but I don't know the item by name. So it's kind of some of these are confusing me a little bit. But I'm sure once I figure it out, I go back to the patch notes. Max health, mana recovery, value adjusted before 5% of. Did I just read this? Okay. 5% max health over 3 seconds. Cannot stop within 3 seconds. Oh, okay. So they're this item health lines used to consistently come out on top for the teams that were already at him. The guy was maybe even larger as they contributed. So we adjusted. Okay, I agree with both of these. This is like mail renewal. Remember old mail renewal where you just sustain after winning a fight and you just can do any objective. So they're hurting that a little bit. I agree, and I like the way it's changed, right? 5% over 3 seconds is insane, right? 15% of like 3k HP in 3 seconds, that's kind of crazy. So I agree 2%. So it's more of like I got to kill. Now I can kind of play a bush, and then I come out again. Instead of like I W key you after I get a kill, right? More outplay, more thinking. We love it. Magic Vamp value adjusted. Before, magical damage Vamp increased by 2%, stacks up to 5 times. Now magical damage Vamp increased 5%, so 15%. So giant buff on Archon, which I agree. I didn't find any magical Vamp items that I really liked. So I like this a lot. Excited to try this item. Xima's toy was broken, so they nerfed it by 5 physical prots. Don't mind that. Well, it was doing a lot, so I agree. This item was getting built to every game. High-end armor basic attack value 12%, so dropped by 3%. I like this change as well. Monster balance changes. Health decreased by 15%. Power decreased by 10%. So the jungle monsters are now easier to kill. I did feel that. In the early game, it was. So a lot of people ask me, yo, in the early game, the jungle feels too hard to kill. It takes too long. Right? So, but if you change the pace, junglers are going to be ahead. So this might be, this could be a problem, but maybe not at casual levels, but at higher levels, I could see this, right? Because I was already the highest level in the game, but obviously I was like, you know, it's like, I'm macroing versus people that don't really know macro, so it's kind of unfair to use that as an example. But with this being said, it's really interesting. It's going to be more ganks, which is more fighting, which is all right by me. The only thing that I'm a little scared of is that junglers might pull ahead very far, but 15% isn't that much. So I like how they like hit it, but didn't punch it. You feel me? Like, if they hit it soft, and now you can kind of get more of a read if it was too much or it was too little. You get me? If they did like 30%, you know, that's like you might mess up the whole flow of the game by just doing that alone. So like how they kind of like poked at it to see how it fixes. So enjoy that a lot. Skill change, health recovery, basic attack damage decreased for 3 seconds. Wait, skill change, health recovery. Okay, this is a camp of eternal life. Oh, okay. Okay, I like this. Yeah, I hated the health recovery. It was so annoying. Basic attack decreased. I like that better. Thorn Vine Camp Monster magical damage reflect removed. I like that. Physical slash magical defense reduction effect removed, so you don't lose prots. So like if another jungler comes, it doesn't feel that good. Decrease the coefficient of the lasers monster from 5 to 3. We thought some of the jungle monsters were disruptive in combat, so we adjusted their values. That's fine. The shockwave release after defeating the... Alright, this is one of the biggest changes, so listen up, guys. The shockwave release after defeating the Prime Guardian changed to not damage heroes. I agree. I think that's fine. I think this is the right change. I could go over this, but I'm going to tell you my reasoning. So I'm going to look at it from both a competitive aspect and a casual aspect, right? In a casual aspect, you're very lost on what the hell happened in that fight. Someone out-hugged someone and everybody exploded. Feels very weird in those games. Like, you kind of want to hog the objective, right? Or smite it, or whatever the hell you want to call it. And then you feel like, oh, now we take the fight. You know, if it almost felt like I was just looking at it because I know if I hog it, I win, right? So now you're focusing more on the fight, which means more outplay potential, which means more intricate fighting. I love it. That is the right change. What's crazy about this change is I said this change word for word. So that means to me they might have heard me, and that makes me very happy. Very, very happy. This change alone makes me so happy, honestly. The shockwave release after defeating the Prime Guardian changed to not destroy the core. Core's health cannot fall below 1% when hit by shockwave. Genius. So my reason was, it feels really weird to end the game. I mean, I literally kind of said this word for word, but we believe that heroes should not end games, not external factors. I love it. We believe that because the shockwave could do damage to the core, there was little chance for comebacks, and many players did not really... Alright, this is like the casual player base, but definitely understandable. We have changes so that the core's health cannot fall below 1%. So, why I love this, right? Before, you hog Baron, you win the game. So now, you hog Baron, it destroys everything. Let's say they're already in a bad position. We already got one inhib. Their map is kind of low. I get the Baron, correct? And now there's one more fight left. and the opposite team has to make a high-level macro play of pushing 3 lanes before they come from Baron and taking a fight outside of base. So that is really important for the health of this game. Really appreciate that. So now we're going to skim through small improvements, change so that one team cannot have the last hero ban and the first hero pick. This was obvious. I thank the Lord that he changed this. Added a UI indicating Prime Guardian submarine. That's good. You can add friends. Okay, this is like normal stuff, like basic stuff. All right, the buff you get from defeating the Prime Guardian is now physical / magic power increased by 30. Now it's 15 extra. Health and mana regen by 1. Attack speed increased by double, 15%. The reason this is, so a lot of you guys might look at this like it's weird, but it's actually very interesting. Reason being is that mage's attack damage scales on structures. So that's why this is so important in my opinion. Skill cooldown increased by 15%. You know I love CD. You know I'm all about the CD life. Improve the translation quality of 28 languages. I mean, genius. If you want your game to be big, you got to think big. And then just a lot of bug fixes that I don't want to go through. And then they're talking about competitive match and duo improved. Like, this is a bunch of things that you can't queue and you can queue with your friends. You see? So I like that they put this little thing out so everybody knows, right? If I'm plat and you're silver, we cannot queue. If you're silver 3 and I'm plat 1, not possible. But if you're silver what? I'm sorry. If you're gold and I'm plat, all right, so it's 1 rank in between, right? Is that what I'm seeing? Yeah, I think so. So hope you guys enjoyed. Let's get into Paragon, the Overprime, baby. We've been waiting so long for this.